Hello again today. This is Ed with Fix It Pros, episode number 5 on making of a cell phone repair franchise business. So last night I was watching a video in regarding to the new potential iPhone, new models coming out for 2018, the next, later quarters, maybe possibly 2019, and I'm seeing that iPhone is going to come out different models, like the X2, which is basically the same as the X, but it's got like more more features, memory, RAM, that kind of stuff, maybe enhanced cameras. And then they're coming out with a couple other models, such as a bigger X that's supposedly the size of the 8 Plus, and some other model. It was a little kind of vague. These are just speculations of leaks, information that people have gotten from other companies, whatever. Anyways, but all being said, what I'm interested is in the LCD that's being used, because the Samsung, if everybody knows this, made the LCD, the OLED, LCD, OLED, whatever they call it, for iPhone, the iPhone X. Okay, so that's why that LCD in the repair industry is very expensive. I mean, my cost on, I don't know if it's probably like an original refurbished, if I were to buy it from somebody, because we're not doing it just yet, we're going to be working on them, is like $319. So very expensive. I've seen them on eBay, other sites, $400, $350, $400. So what are we going to charge customers to repair that phone? And we normally see this when the phones first come out. Like, I'll give you an example. Like 2013, when the iPhone 5S came out. Again, that LCD was $350. Same thing with all of them. Within a matter of a couple of months, the LCD dropped. Now it's like $15, right? Well, obviously for copies. But we've seen this as a trend. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Brand new, comes out. Whoever's producing the LCDs, they want to, maximize their dollars. So they're gonna keep the price really high, and then as the popularity, like more people break their phones, and then the price drops, and they become competitive in the market again. Okay, so we've seen this. I've seen this for many years. 2013, from 5S's, all the way even to the 8 Pluses. The 8 Pluses, again, if you're not refurbishing LCDs and you're buying the aftermarket copies, when that first came out, that LCD was like $350 normal. Again, when did that phone come out? That phone came out September, 8 Plus, September, October. So that was like 5-6 months ago. Anyways, well, within 3 months, that LCD went from $350 to like $175, and it dropped down to like $110, and it dropped down to like $85, and to even right now, somebody's listing the aftermarket screens for like $25. Again, this is the aftermarket stuff. This isn't like OEM original LCD refurbished. Okay, so that's all fine and dandy. Well, guess what? The X has been out. Came out probably a month after that, I think right before Christmas, but we have not seen that LCD. Very little has that LCD dropped. And so, like Samsung's, their LCDs don't drop that much either. Like, I'll give you an example. An S8, how long has an S8 been out? S8's been out, I want to say, since November, and that LCD has dropped a little bit, but it's still in the 200 range. S8 Plus, it's $250. And I'm talking about like wholesale pricing. That's for us to buy it and then put money on top of that. Charge money on top of that to do the install. Okay, so the customer end result is still going to pay $250, $300, maybe $350 for the S8 Plus. Same thing with Note 5. The Note 5 LCD our cost alone is still like $150 for a Note 5. I mean, we're on the Note 8 already. The Note 8 LCD is in the $300 range. And so we're seeing this trend with Samsung that their prices don't go down. And even if they do go down, by the time they go down, that phone's like, like out of, style, I guess, or, nobody's really fixing these phones anymore. And so in the cell phone industry, 2013, when I started, I mean, it was like, 50% iPhones, maybe, 40% iPhones, 40% Samsungs, and the other 20% were just like miscellaneous phones, like LGs and all kinds of others, Blackberries, this kind of stuff. Now, at least in my experience, and we repair all kinds of phones. I mean, I fix LGs, Sony Xperias, LGs. What else? I even fixed a blue phone one time. I got the screen fixed to blue. So it's not that we're incapable of repairing these other phones, because we are. I mean, we fixed BlackBerry. I actually just fixed a BlackBerry D-Tech. I didn't even know that phone existed, but it looks like the Alcatel One to Alcatels. I mean, we fix all kinds of phones. If it has a power button, we can fix it. That's our motto. So, with that being said, we have seen like our business literally go from like 40%, Apple products to like 90%. I mean, we're literally, and we still do glass only repair Samsung. I mean, not too long ago, someone came in with an S3. I mean, they're still out there, but it's very few and far between. I did the glass only repair on a Samsung S3. I mean, I'll do S5s. I just repaired an S5. But again, an S5, Samsung S5, which probably came out 3-4 years ago, a guy came in, he's got all this information I wanted to fix. I still had to charge him $150. So think about that. An S5 that's, 3 or 4 years old, the LCD is still expensive. Now, they are now selling copy LCDs, and you have to be careful with this, because I was outsourcing, trying to find different LCDs to try to save the customer money, and they have copies, which is, they're starting to do this, but there's little things that you might not realize until you get it. Obviously, probably the resolution's not going to be just as great, but the brightness dimmer, I don't know if you've ever seen that on your phone, where you dim the brightness. I don't have a phone here to give an example, but on Samsungs you could do that. Same thing like iPhones. Just pull the menu bar down and a little thing pops up, and you can dim the light. Wake up in the morning, it's super bright. Your eyes like burn. But they didn't have the brightness dimmer, so that's kind of annoying. So it was like another $40 more. You get like, I don't know if it was, I'm sure it's an original refurbished, but it's an original LCD, and you see the quality. Somebody probably refurbished it, but it's still a little more expensive, still in the close to the $100 range. So it charged $40-$50 to put the phone on, put the part on. But so they're still expensive. So we're seeing this trend where, I mean, we literally hardly do Samsungs, unless it's a glass repair, and most of the time it's not. So I'm just trying to like foresee, where this is going, and now I'm starting to see that now that the new models that are coming out for iPhone are all going to be using the Samsung OLED. I mean, I think that 8 is going to maybe use, like, I don't know if it's OLED. It's going to be like a cheaper, the new X Plus or whatever they're calling it. I don't know exactly. They said it might not be, but who knows? I don't know. But still, the point is that what's going to happen with our repair industry. Now, I'm not saying our repair industry is going to come to a crashing halt anytime soon, but I'm not just looking at next year. I'm looking like 5 years down the road, because in regards to what these videos are about, it's the making of a cell phone repair franchise. So, I mean, if you're thinking about creating a franchise, or building a bit, multiple stores, not just like one unit. I'm not interested in building one store. One store is easy. Something happens in the industry, you just switch over, you sell phones, whatever. But that's not what I'm interested in doing. So these questions I really have for the future. Especially like you know, if it takes a couple of years to finally get to the franchise possibility, obviously I want to have some time left where there's still meat on the bone, where I can, you know, sell the franchise idea to someone interested in this business, and we can all still make money. So there's still time left, but I'm trying to think of how we will have to adapt. Now, I've since I refurbish LCDs, I'm already preparing to refurbish the iPhone X LCDs. Now, Samsung LCDs, like especially if you've seen all these new curved stuff, are very difficult. I'm not saying impossible, but very difficult, and you're going to need the right tools. Like, for example, freeze machines. We did purchase like a little mini freeze machine, and you have to use liquid nitrogen. It works, but you really need to invest and buy the freeze machine, which can range from $2,000 to $3,000 or more. But that is the equipment that you're going to need for refurbishing. And will also work for the iPhone X OLED. Now, the difference with the iPhone X LEDs, and the reason why the iPhone LCDs are easier to refurbish, is because the LCDs are still flat. They don't have that curved edge. So because they're flat, if you can take the frames off, it's easy to separate the glass from the LCD using a hot plate and cutting wire, because everything's flat. Now, with those edges, Samsung, they become more difficult because you have to, work with that edge, and that's where you can tear, because it's very flexible, and that's where you can damage the digitizer. I've seen guys very carefully do it, and they still damage the digitizer. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I think these freeze machines are what's going to be necessary to move on to that level. So I'm just seeing like a trend. You know, again, if I was just in the Samsung repair business, if I only fixed Samsungs, okay, I would have been out of business, okay? Because people, it's not that like if you can't fix it, people aren't coming. People don't want to pay, more than what their, insurance deductible cost is. If I tell somebody, an S8, they I tell them, okay, it's, if they have insurance, obviously, most people do. But if I tell somebody, okay, an S8 Plus is, $300, and their insurance is, deductible is $175, it's a no-brainer. They're just going to go to an insurance company and they're going to swap them out and give them a new refurbished phone. It's just that easy. So that's where we're seeing this going. Is it that the manufacturers don't want the third-party repair people to repair these phones? I'm not exactly sure. Is it technology that's becoming more complex, more difficult? Obviously the repair industry relies on the aftermarket screens being produced in order for us to, repair these stuff. Now, it is possible to buy the Samsung screens directly from Samsung, but you're talking big money. So, and again, it's all a matter of the customers, whether they want to just, pay a couple $100, go through insurance, or pay you $300 or $400. I mean, to me, it comes down to the dollars. I'll wait a week to save a couple $100. But anyways, that was the topic of today, and so it's something to think about the future and what it is you're going to need to do to continue in this business and start preparing for it, because we'll still repair iPhone 5s, and we're still doing 5s, 6s, 6S Plus, 6Ss, and we'll probably still do that. Obviously, you rarely see any 4. Somebody called me about a 4 the other day, but I haven't fixed one in 6 months. I don't even want to fix those phones, but I fixed so many of those. I'll do it, but they never showed up to get the repair done. But if you're just like a mom and pop store and you're like, hey, I like this industry, I want to get in this industry. I mean, there's still time left. I mean, that where, let's say the OLEDs are just impossible. And again, the reason why I'm a little worried about it is just because I have seen the Samsung repair side of the business completely almost drop out. I mean, you know, we if you had a Samsung and the LCD was still good and the touch was still good, no problem. If we couldn't do it, somebody else could. I mean, it's very possible. Now again, the edges, they're still possible, but they need like a real expert and the equipment that you're gonna need. You know, it's not like, you know, here's some cutting wire and you know, and a couple of strips of glue and the glass. That's what they'll sell you on eBay, and they'll tell you, yeah, go for it. You know, that you're gonna destroy the LCD, and then whoever is doing it, well, guess what? It's not gonna be cheap. You know. So my point is that think about that, about the future. You know, also think about you know, learning to repair other phones. You know, and that's what we're starting to do. We're starting to try to advertise to repair other models so that we don't just get stuck in that Samsung, you know, Apple game. I mean, there are, you know, other companies like Metro PCS, Cricket. I mean, they've got tons of phones. So something to think about, guys. Appreciate your time. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and have a great day. See you next time.